Hey YouTube, it's Evan Magician34 doing my product review for the Dawn of the Xyz starter deck. This is one of those big moments where Yu-Gi-Oh is going to change and a lot of people are going to complain and some people will think it's awesome and so on and so forth, and it'll eventually all turn out, okay, just another phase in Yu-Gi-Oh. This is only like the second time ever they've really introduced a new card type. Rituals don't count because they told us about it in the beginning, even though it didn't come out till the third set. But, yeah, so I don't know, in a way I feel like Xyz monsters, these new black cards, probably should have come out into existence before Synchros, and then Synchros should have been the new thing. Because so far Xyz monsters are kind of underwhelming compared to Synchros. The ease of summoning them is more or less equivalent, but having to have monsters at the exact same level on the field is a little challenging. Plus, unlike Synchros, they keep the stuff on the field, so you can't just instantly send it to the graveyard to get effects like Sangan. But what's in it is kind of cool and kind of exciting. It's not the best thing ever, but it's not the worst. Your Ultra, which actually has this cool copper lettering instead of the goldish kind of lettering, is number 39 Utopia. He's any 2 4-stars, put them together, you get this 25, 2000 guy, and you can pull off one of his materials to negate any one attack. And that's your monster, their monster, whatever. But the catch is, if he gets to be an attack target when he's got no materials, then he instantly explodes and kills himself, which is bad because that'll even trigger a replay rule for them. But the good news is, he can still attack even when he has no materials on him. And, considering he probably saved 2 monsters before that happened, you would have lost 2 other cards. So the fact that he blows up is actually just kind of fair. He's pretty solid. He's sort of the next in line, I get the feeling, after Dark Magician, Elemental Hero Neos, Stardust Dragon. He's just the next big 2,500 point standard guy. So he's pretty cool. He's interesting to have around. I don't know if he'll fit into the narrow little 15 card extra deck yet, but... And you get this 2-star guy, any 2 2-star monsters make him. He's 500, 1800. But what's cool about him is, for each material on him, all your monsters get 200 attack and defense, so he's really like 2200 defense, essentially, when you special him. And you can remove a material as sort of a replacement effect for him getting destroyed, so if he would be destroyed, remove it. It doesn't, like, negate and destroy the thing that would have destroyed him. It's kind of like Power Tool. It's a replacement effect. But he's kind of cool, and it's not too hard to get 2 2-star monsters on the field, so he's interesting, at least. And then last but not least, the last Xyz monster we're going to have is Grinosaurus, and he's just any 2 3-stars, which isn't too hard to do at all. 2000 attack, and you can pull off a material to deal your opponent 1000 whenever he destroys an opponent's monster by battle and send it to the grave. So he's not like dramatically exciting, but I mean he could rack up some damage, and he could get you a little more power out of your 3-star, I guess. Really, he's not the most exciting one. He's actually the least exciting to me. But these aren't the most exciting Xyz monsters. More are coming. I think Photon Shockwave, the set after Generation Force, is going to have some really cool ones. But anyway, the rest of the deck, Spirit of the Harp, just old news. Luster Dragon number 2, Dark Blade. The only normal monster really worth talking about is Genewark Warwolf, because this guy hadn't gotten a nice, easy-to-get printing like this before. And he's still the only 4-star normal monster with just 2000 attack, no problems associated with it, so, he's pretty cool. Then we've got Zubaba Knight. He can kill a monster that starts battle in face-up defense position, just automatically kill it. And he's 1600 attack, kind of underwhelming, though, these days. Then we got this guy, Gombara Knight, who's new. If he gets attacked when he's in attack position, he changes himself to defense position, which is cool, because he's got 1800 attack. But with 0 attack, he's got 1800 defense. But with 0 attack, he's kind of like, well, why would he be in attack mode anyway? I think the idea is that you can summon him so that he's face up, and then if they try to attack him, he shifts to defense mode, so that on your next turn you can, like, drop another 4-star or whatever. But really, once again, kind of underwhelming. We can do better. Feedback Warriors was like one of the few things that kind of excited me about this deck. Just when he's summoned, normal or special, you pick another face-up monster you control and it becomes level 3. So it's an automatic Xyz, or you could use him with a tuner, summon him when you got a tuner on the field, and that tuner instantly becomes level 3, so you could sync for 6, which is really cool. His stats aren't impressive attack and defense-wise, but that's cool because you're just going to turn him into an Xyz or a Synchro anyway. We got Speedbird. When it dies in battle, it specials a couple of level 2 monsters out of your grave, but negates their effect. But that's cool because you're going to just use them as materials for something bigger. So he's actually pretty interesting. Keyman, he's a level 2, can become a level 3. Kind of but interesting. I think we can do that better, though. Tension, he gains 400 attack for every face-up level 2 monster, so he's essentially 1200 because he's a level 2 monster himself. Kind of underwhelming, too. Shine Knight, he's level 3, but if he's in defense position, he's actually level 4, so it's more level play, but once again, underwhelming, not very exciting. Giant Rat, Shiny Angel, nice cards. Blade Knight hasn't gotten a reprint in quite a while. He's an interesting card, but his era's kind of past. Marauding Captain helps you make Xyz monsters a little bit easier, but once again, kind of unexciting. Senku, Vengeful Shinobi, Field Commander Raz, Trident Warrior, who's just, you have to get exactly level 3 out of your hand. He's kind of like a Marauding Captain in some ways. Except Xyzing with him is not as easy as with Captain. Warrior Lady of the Wasteland. Then we've got this cool card, Blustering Winds. Gives an extra 1000 attack and defense to one monster you control until your next standby phase. So that means you can attack with it and use it to keep it safe until your next turn. So it's kind of cool. I don't think you'll really see that much play, but it's a nifty little addition. Harmonic Waves, just one monster in the field becomes level 4 until the end phase, so that can help you with all kinds of things, but it's not really worth using up a card slot in your deck. XYZ Energy, pull a material off one of your Xyz monsters, and you can destroy a monster your opponent controls. Not, too exciting, but it's a little bit better than Synchro Blast Wave was for Synchros, because this one you can maybe do more than once off the same guy, or still use its ability or something like that. Still, kind of underwhelming for what we've got to put into decks these days. MST Fissure, nice to get a reprint on that. Swords, Warrior Returning Alive, Banner of Courage, Poison the Old Man, haven't seen that one reprinted in a while. Lucky Iron Axe. Not too exciting, really. Then we've got this Reinforced Space. For every material on all your Xyz monsters for the rest of the turn, they gain 300 attack and defense. I wouldn't run it, really, but it's kind of a nifty little thing. I mean, if you're just playing around for fun, I guess, maybe it's a nice surprise in the damage step. Xyz Effect, this is just sort of like a good version of a trap hole off your own monster, I guess. When you Xyz summon a monster, you can just target one card on the field and pop it, which is better than just destroying a monster, obviously, because it's more flexible, and it doesn't care about face up, face down. But that assumes that you're going to get your summon, and that this has already been set for at least a turn before you actually Xyz summon. So it's not quite as useful as you probably want it to be. Dust Tornado, Trap Hole, 7 tools, nice to get a reprint on that. Yet another reprint of Mirror Force. Raigeki Break, that's not too bad. Shield Spear, interesting, at least it's a damage step trick, I guess. Limit Reverse, still a good card. Reinforced Truth, that's a nice card, good reprint. Lord knows, X-Sabers like that card at least. So yeah, so that's the deck. I'd say it's worth buying because these guys will be semi-playable. The main problem with Xyz monsters is they're taking up space in your extra deck, fighting with your Synchro monsters for it. And right now your Synchro monsters are much better targets, much better uses of space in your extra deck than these guys are generally. Like, you might want to run 1 or 2 of these guys, but until the better ones come out, I mean, you might only want to commit 1 or 2 slots. But anyway, so until next time, rate, comment, subscribe, and enjoy.